This is my dream car. That's right, Ford Mustang. But not this Ford Mustang. This right here is the Boss 302 Ford Mustang. First thing is you got to change your perspective, man. So I came to a realization that I literally already have my dream car when I didn't even realize it. And that is, like, I've always wanted a Ford Mustang. It's one of my dream cars. I have many dream cars. This is just one of them. And the way I got into this car specifically is I, saved up some money and bought an 06 V6 Ford Mustang. And perfect, pristine car. I bought it so I can learn how to drift and perfect my manual transmission driving. So I got that car, and my dad fell in love with it, and he told me he wanted to buy it. So I went and found an 07 premium Ford Mustang V6 with 96,000 miles. The 07 had 98,000 miles. But the gray one, the 07, which was gray, had a few issues with it. So at the time, my dad was out of the country, and he was out of the country, and he told me he wanted to buy the Mustang. So I bought the other Mustang, the second, the gray one, the 07. And when he came back, he decided he didn't want to buy the Mustang anymore. So that left me with an 06 Mustang and an 07 Mustang V6. One was 98,000 miles that runs just fine, and the other one with 96,000 miles but needed a new clutch. ABS light was on after I put in the new clutch. Check engine light came on with the EVAP system, and then the speedometer stopped working. And when the speedometer stopped working, that was the last straw for me. At this point, I already sold the 07 Mustang, or the 06 red Mustang that ran perfect, V6. Sold that, and so I was just stuck daily driving the 07 Mustang, and I couldn't really experience the V6 or perfect my manual transmission or learn how to drift in those two cars. And those were the purposes of why I bought it. But since that whole scenario happened, I ended up selling one and keeping the other. Look at that over there. Y'all see that in the wild, bro? That's nice. Earlier today, I should have recorded it earlier today. Earlier today, I was lined up with a, I don't know what year it was. It might have been a 2000 Cobra SVT. I don't know, but that guy was looking at the car too. I put my window down and talked to the guy real quick, and I was like, man, I love your car. He was like, yeah, I love yours too, man. And he's an older gentleman, and he was like, I got nitrous in this one. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But yeah, so back to the story. So I was stuck with the '07 premium gray V6 Mustang with all those issues. At that point, when the speedometer gave out on me, I had already sold the other Mustang, and that was my daily. And I couldn't really experience it because the evap system, I would put gas and I couldn't really drive the car. When I was on throttle, the car would not go. It would just slowly creep up there, right? So when the speedometer died on me, that was my last straw for that car. I was just like, you know what? I had just got a new job that's taking up 99% of my time, doing 12, 15-hour shifts a day, and I just didn't have the time to work on that car. So I decided to trade it in. And at this point, I was looking at my wife's car, which she has a Jeep Wrangler, and that's a dream car of mine. Another dream car of mine is to have a Wrangler. It's really the number one dream car, just because I like to off-road and stuff, right? And this area I'm in, there's a lot of good areas, good trails for that. And so I ended up started getting in the market of buying another car. So I was doing a bunch of research on what car I wanted next. And of course, I gravitated more towards Mustangs because I wanted another Mustang. And I was looking through Carvana, and I was looking at GT350s and Boss 302s. Now, it's a big little jump there, I guess, right, in cars. So the reason I was looking for GT350s on Carvana, there was one that was a 2019 GT350 with 3,000 miles on it, and it sold for $35,000, which is, that car goes for at least $60,000, $70,000 right now. Like, car industry is flipping, which is going to be for another video. But I saw that, and I was trying to get a GT350 at a cheap price. So I kept researching, but all I could find was 45 and up, 50 and up, So that was an oddball that slipped through my fingers. So I was doing a bunch of research on what generation to get, what year model, the whole 9 yards. Did a bunch of research, and it came down between the GT350 and the Boss 302. Now, the GT350 was a little bit out of my price range, so I decided to settle with the Boss 302 for what I want to do with it, which is, really, if I could take it on track, I'll take it on the track. If, I'm gonna daily drive this, so I have to take that into consideration. I'm not really, I don't have all the money in the world, so I'm not really have all the money in the world to modify this to, to its full potential. But I wanted something that, handled well, was more sporty, but still muscle car, and was good on back roads. And just after all the reviews and videos that I've seen, it was just between the GT350 and the Boss 302. Now, both cars have high red lines. The GT350, I believe, is like 85 or something like that. It's super high, and this one's 82 or 75. I don't know. It's like 75, which is the second, I believe, you guys can correct me, is the second Mustang produced. Like, the GT350 is the only Mustang produced out of factory, right, that can go red line through, I think I just saw a GT500, same year model as this. So I wanted that high revving engine, right? So this was the next best thing. This was the next dream car. I'm so happy. Like, I got my dream car. Like, I finally got a Ford Mustang, a V8, and I'm just so happy. It brings so much smile. This car brings so much smiles to my face. It's ridiculous. And you can also get your dream car. And you need to change your perspective. You need to appreciate your 9 to 5. A lot of people, you know, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, but a lot of people sleep on their 9 to 5. Like, it's a blessing to have a job. Either way, if you have your own business or your own job, you're gonna have to work, right? So it's a blessing either way. You know, just to be working, making money, and being able to get things that you want, right? So just to live in general, to be in America. Okay, this is another perspective you need to take into account. If you live in America, you are in the top 70%. You are 70%, sorry, let me say that again. You are 70% richer than the rest of the world. Think about that. The poorest person in America is 70% richer than the rest of the world. And I believe it because my parents are from third world countries and I've seen it firsthand. So change your perspective, man. You can get your dream car while you're still broke, right? I got my dream car because I was able to get into a good 9 to 5 job that put me in a position to where I can afford this car and the payments and all that, right? So you can too. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to have all the money in the world, but you know, if you have a solid 9 to 5 job, that's not, now I'm talking about anything besides your typical minimum wage job. Like, you know, I'm not talking about working at McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, or anything of that sort. You know what I mean? Like a 9 to 5 that's giving you 45K or more, you know, a little bit above the national average, right? And with that, you can still afford your dream car. And a lot of it has to do with your spending too. You gotta watch your spending. You know, don't spend on stupid things, but spend on things that, you know, minimize your spending, and you'll have the money to get your dream car. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective, guys. I got my dream car while I'm still broke. You know, I don't have millions in the bank, but I have a good 9 to 5. You know, and I'm blessed to have a 9 to 5. I'm blessed to have a job. I was out of a job for 6 to 8 months at one point. You know, so people don't want to work nowadays. People don't want to work, and you gotta work for what you guys want to accomplish in life, whatever that may be. Whether that's getting your dream car or dream house or whatever. All right, guys, that's it for now.